Little different intro this time. We're sitting here, we tee off in 40 minutes for our US Open local qualifier in Frederick, Maryland. Thomas is 5 minutes away, he's gonna come caddy. He drove 2 hours this morning at 5 a.m. The forecast is looking solid. A lot of rain today. It's supposed to rain almost 2 inches throughout the day. They have not called it yet. It rained about half an inch through the night, so the course is gonna be pretty wet. Our US Open local qualifier is going to be a wet one, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy Pause to Pro episode 6, because I probably will not enjoy it.
Me either.
I'm looking forward more to watching this footage back than I am to actually golfing right now, that's for sure. And Thomas is bringing a rain jacket for me because I did not think it was gonna rain this much when we left South Carolina 2 days ago. So let's go play some good golf and hopefully not get rained out. But anything for the content. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I feel like this video deserves it. And let's go play some good golf and qualify for the US Open. All right, so the first hole here is a 415-yard par 4. Pretty much straight away, goes a little bit to the left. Guys, I do have a big announcement coming after this tee shot, and there's a lot of interrupting the video through the first 5-6 minutes, but stay patient because the penalty that I was referring to also happens in this first hole. Guys, before we jump into the video, I have a major announcement. I have officially partnered with Rhoback. If you're interested in buying some Rhoback gear, make sure to use the link in the description below for 20% off anything on site. And that link will be in any YouTube video's description from here on out, so just keep that in mind. They have an unlimited amount of polo designs. This one itself has bacon and eggs on it. I mean... All right, so I hit a really good tee shot off that first tee, laying in the middle of the fairway here, and Raleigh did not get it on video, what happened, but I'm gonna explain shortly because, yeah, it sets up one of the weirdest rounds of golf I've ever played in my life. Okay, so I did not get it on video, but let me explain what happened really quick. So my tee time was 8:20, and it had already rained an inch the night prior, and it was raining all day. It rained all night the night before. We're supposed to get over 2 inches of rain, and the course was already soaked. As you could tell, there was literally puddles on the fairway. And sometimes when the announcements are going on the first tee, I kind of just blank out a little bit because I've played in so many events in my life, and I don't know, I just, like, I don't listen well enough. Sure, it's my fault. I don't listen. I got to the fairway, I looked at Thomas, I made a joke saying, playing it down today, huh? Like as a joke, you know, because the fairway was so wet already. And he kind of looked, he didn't really say anything, he kind of looked at me. I had immediately, right after I said that, walked over to my ball, put a tee on it, and picked it up. And this whole time Thomas was silent. He's not getting a pay raise for that one. I'm kidding, Thomas, but you know. My playing competitors looked at me and said, is it casual water? And I had not moved a muscle. I had just picked it up like a couple feet, hadn't cleaned it off yet, looked over at them and said, no, it's lift clean in place though, right? And they said, no, I don't think so. And I just put the ball back down really quick, picked up the tee, and I was like, okay, well, we need to get a ruling on this. There were no marshals near us at the time, so I put the ball back down to the exact spot, played as is. Great way to start off the round. Really good stuff by me, really smart up here. Well, there you have it. Picked up my ball, wasn't lift clean in place. Not really sure how the USGA didn't make it lift clean in place, especially since it was gonna rain the whole day, and there were tee times up until 2 o'clock, and I teed off at 8, so I thought they were going to take it the safe route and make it lift clean in place. But anyways, so at this point, I don't really know what this putt's for, but I stuffed that wedge shot to 3.5 feet. If I didn't pick up my ball and cause a penalty, it would have been a birdie. So for now, I'm just 1 under with a question mark next to it because I really don't know what I'm at. Next hole here is a par 4 again. Goes a little bit to the left, kind of a tight tee shot, but I hit a really good one. So 2 good drives to start the day. And honestly, haven't hit a bad shot yet to start the day, so game's feeling good. I also don't know what it is with me, but I think it's a curse because whenever I start off my rounds with birdies, I don't need to give away any spoilers or anything, but I don't know what it is. Really good shot here, honestly. About 110 yards out, hit a knockdown 54. Was literally a foot from being like a 10-footer up the hill and end up having a 40-footer up a massive slope. Kind of an unlucky break there, but that's kind of the way this day goes. Again, not trying to spoil anything, but it's just it was just a weird round of golf. And also, guys, apologies for the quality of this video. It is not as good as the other Pause to Pros. My girlfriend was holding a camera in one hand and an umbrella in the other, and usually there was about a 20-mile-an-hour wind gust blowing that umbrella in all different directions. And yeah, I felt bad for her the whole time, even having her out there. It was just so miserable. A really good 2-putt back there though, so we are 1 under still with a question mark. At this point in my mind, I was kind of thinking it was going to be just a 1-shot penalty, but I really wasn't sure. I knew it wasn't going to be over 2 shots, or at least I was 99% sure it wasn't going to be over a 2-shot penalty, so I was thinking it was just going to be a 1-shot, and I was going to be around even par at this point. Pulled my 2-iron there off the tee just a little bit. This hole is an awkward driving hole. And then also pulled a 9-iron coming in, just barely missed the green. Really was in between putting and chipping this one, but there was just a massive slope to deal with that would have been really difficult to chip and judge a bounce with, so I decided to putt and play all the break and see what we could do with it. It was just a really hard shot regardless, so weren't a whole lot of options. Did about as good as we could have. Gave ourselves, I think, an 8 to 10 footer up the hill for our par. And guys, code Ben10 for a lab putter, any lab putter you want at labgolf.com for 10% off. Knock that one in. Steady the ship. We're grinding really well so far. Would be 1 under, so we're playing really well. First 3 holes, stress-free for the most part. Knocked that one in. Decent drive here. Kind of pulled it up the left. I didn't really love the swing on it, but it wasn't too far offline. I mean, look at those puddles in the fairways. I don't understand. You know, and props to Worthington Manor, the golf course we played, because it did stay relatively, you know, not firm, but I didn't have too many mud balls, which was, you know, kind of a shocker. I thought I would have a ton. So, you know, the course was in good shape, I guess, but definitely I think looking back on it, I don't know how they didn't make it look clean in place. Chunked that second shot a little bit. I was in the first cut. We had kind of a tough chip shot here, and this was really well judged and just well executed here. Solid chip. Have this 6-footer, roughly 6 feet up the hill for my par to keep the grind going, and knocked it in. So we've missed our last 2 greens, but have still made par on both of those holes, and we're hitting the ball still pretty solid up to this point, and the grind is there as well. So at this point in the round, I'm feeling pretty confident and, you know, just happy with everything. Satisfied. Got a little quick in the transition there, I can kind of tell just from watching. Pulled it just left of the bunker, and I'm going to let you guys listen to this because this is when the official came up to me. This official just came up to me and told me that it was a 2-shot penalty. So that changes my birdie on the first hole to a bogey. So I'm 1 over par now as opposed to 1 under, and it's a little bit of a blow, I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely a little bit disappointed. I feel like I've been grinding pretty well this round, so far at least. But we got a par 5, so let's make a birdie. Definitely a little bit of a blow there to hear that. I was expecting it to be a 1-shot penalty, but it was 2. So instead of being 1 under, we are now 1 over par. And my birdie on the first hole is now a bogey. So yeah, changes the mindset up a little bit. We actually grabbed the 2-iron on that hole instead of laying up. I was originally going to lay up, but I tried to go for it. I hit it so bad that it ended up being just the same as if I were to lay up anyways. And another interesting thing today is you get free relief from all the bunkers. They deemed the bunkers unplayable before the round started, and I think the bunkers were just filling up more and more as the round went on, so they didn't want to have to deal with that later with the late tee times and all that, so I understand that. Left that 80-yard shot from the rough about 15 feet short, and I think it's a staple at this point that we leave in all the clips of wildlife that my girlfriend films, because it has become a regular occurrence on the channel now at this point, especially in these pause to pros. I got really aggressive with this 15-footer, way too aggressive trying to make it. You know, knowing that we're 1 over now, the mindset changes just a little bit, and then I put an absolutely terrible stroke on that par putt, so we're going to make a bogey here on this par 5. Just an awful mistake, but you can watch this. Okay, so this is where Thomas was a little bit upset that the rules official did this. So he originally came up and told me it was a 2-shot penalty, but then he came up after the hole had already finished and told me that it was only 1 shot. So that's good news, I guess, but I had just finished 3 putting, you know, getting a little aggressive on the birdie putt, really wanting to make birdie, to get back to even par, but instead I was already at even par because it was only a one-shot penalty anyways. So, you know, you could say you probably would have three-putted it anyways, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, excuses are excuses. Thomas was more upset about it than I was at the time, honestly, but looking back, it was a little bit unfortunate to have happened to me in the middle of the round, especially when I'd been playing some pretty good golf and grinding it out pretty well. But let me know down in the comments. I mean, the USGA really might not have wanted the Pause King in the US Open. I mean, they had seen the way I already played Oakmont, and they were like, uh-oh, this guy's gonna run away with it. Nah, I'm kidding. But sorry about the thumbnail, guys. It was kind of satire. I gotta keep the YouTube satire rolling as well as what I do on other platforms. So, you know, it's hard to compete in YouTube golf these days. Don't get mad at me too much in the comments. Sorry again for stopping this video so much in these first 5-6 holes, but I would say it's valid, you know, for me to stop it this many times. There's been a lot to happen. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the, you know, what happened with the official. Was it a reason for me to be upset in any way? I wasn't really that upset during the actual event, but it definitely, this round kind of spiraled after all that happened, and I don't know if it's just the timing or what. Left the iron shot short there, but hit a really good chip shot to 5 feet and put a really good stroke on that putt, honestly, too. I thought I knocked it in for a par. I wasn't really that mad at the way I played that hole. But then this was really not a good tee shot here. Pulled it left, way left. Actually, not way left. It just kind of hit that slope and kicks left. You can't really see it. And guys, I feel like if this was not a Pause to Pro, I would not have posted the video. This is just one of those videos with the wind, the rain, the conditions, the filming. I mean, I've never seen her hands look so shaky, and it is not her fault. I am not blaming her in the slightest because I could barely even golf. I can only imagine trying to film a video during this round. So, you know, give her the benefit of the doubt. This hole is actually one shot better than it was in the actual tournament results. My editor wrote down a bogey, and it is a double. I mean, that putt was, I didn't even give that a chance. I can't even believe what I'm watching right now because I had such control of my golf game going into the 5th hole, and then it is just spiraling. I mean, it is just spiraling out of control at this point. It just seems like in the blink of an eye. I literally didn't even know when it happened. Like, in the middle of this round, Thomas and I, like, looked at each other and were just like, when did it all go so bad? I feel like I'm playing decent golf up until this point. Like, even my bad shots didn't feel that bad. I've started out off the round putting really well. Obviously, that's changed. We just 3-putted the last hole. We 3-putted 2 holes before that. So we 3-putt, and then we miss a 5-footer for par on the par 3, and then we 3-putt again, and then we 3-putt again right here. Oh my goodness, this is insane. From feeling like my putting was pretty good going into the round, look at that streak we're on now. I mean, 3 3-putts in 4 holes. Not even that bad of golf. It's honestly just the putting. With, you know, I don't know. It's all just going the wrong direction, and the wrong direction fast. And at this point, I'm willing to try anything, so I'll let you listen to this. I want to talk about the thought process behind this shot before I actually show you guys, because it might have been the dumbest shot attempt of my life in a tournament round. It's 280 yards to the pin. It's into at least 20 miles per hour of wind. Obviously, it's raining. The ground's super wet. I'm not even in the fairway. I'm in the first cut. And I told Thomas that I wanted to hit driver. The lie wasn't even that good. And I have a high success rate of hitting driver off the deck. I'm very good at the shot. But still, it's hard to, like, not spin it a little bit sometimes. And with the wind being in, there was, like, literally a 1% chance I get this shot on the green. Thomas told me not to do it. I told him it would be super sick if I pulled it off. So he was like, you know what, I don't care. Just go for it. You're already like a million over at this point. You know, you've had, I don't know, just do it. I honestly did it for the video. I think if we weren't filming, I'm not so sure I would have attempted this shot, but I just thought it'd be really sick if I pulled it off. So here I am with a driver in my hands in the first cut. Playing competitors have been waiting for me to hit for like 6 minutes because the group in front of us took a while. So they're probably super confused as to what I am trying to accomplish because this hole just was not reachable in 2 today. I smoked the drive down the right side and was like, you know what, I'm going for it, you know. actually found the ball in the hazard, but it was so inside of the earth that I was not sure that I was going to be able to even move that ball like 5 feet. I was like, Thomas, I'm not dropping at this point. The ball was literally like a solid couple inches under the ground, and I was just like, as long as this ball moves like 5 feet and doesn't just go deeper into the earth, then I would call that a success. And I actually hit it over the green. I'm still not sure how I did that. I'm still not sure how I hit that shot over the green. So we had that super touchy shot. Really impossible from there, honestly. You cannot be over that green. And we hit it to about 30 feet. So now this is for a par. I actually put a pretty good stroke on this, just about 2 feet long. We're going to clean this one up for another bogey to stay on our hot streak. I mean, I don't think I've made 5 bogeys in a row in a tournament since I was a little guy, just a little guy. And I don't even feel like I'm playing that bad of golf. That's the funny part about all this. You guys are watching it here. I mean, let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Obviously, course management skills are at an all-time low this round, and putting is atrocious after the 4th hole. So those two things mixed together is never really going to be making any good results. Pulled my drive just a little bit left there off the 10th tee, but we were fine. Hit a wedge shot just short. That was another one. I hit the wedge shot, and in the air, I was staring it down, thought it was really going to be good, and just ended up like 15 feet short. I was dumbfounded, honestly. At this point, I need to pretty much birdie a lot of holes. I didn't know any of the scores at this point, so there's not really a number in mind. I think even par actually ended up making it to sectionals, which is a lot higher than it normally is at this site. Normally you got to shoot something like 3-4 under par, so obviously the conditions were tough. Hit a good drive there just up the left side, barely missed the fairway, but at this point I'm still very happy with my driver. I feel like I'm putting a lot of aggressive swings on it. 55 yards out here, and I just should not have paused. I never pause. I stopped pausing at 60, and I didn't listen to my own rule there. I paused from 55, and just a bad decision. Another one on top of the mini we've already had this round. Hit a really solid chip shot, or at least I thought I did, and it just didn't really grab. A lot of times chip shots weren't grabbing today because of all the water, and I'm not really used to that. And there I am tapping it in with the backside of the putter, which, if I'm doing that in an event, then I must be just completely out of it, because I never seem to do that kind of stuff. But, it is what it is. This is just not going my way today. Another great drive. Really solid little baby cut. Actually hit it too far through the fairway. Normally I would hit like a 3-wood or 2-iron on this hole, but I ran out of fairway. So it was a good drive. Nonetheless, it was right down the middle, really the only spot I could have aimed. Wedge shot here from like 110 yards. Left it just short of the green there. You could see it, but I'm still going to putt it. It's honestly insane watching this round back. Like I said, Thomas and I looked at each other. I think it was actually on this hole in the fairway, and I was just like, dude, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. Like, you drove all the way out here just for me to just have this round of I don't even know how to explain this round. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Ball striking was solid, and just everything else was awful. Pounded this drive. I'm at this point. This back nine, you guys are going to see it. I started just swinging as hard as I could at every single drive, and it honestly, that might be the play now from here on out. You guys are going to see more fairways than I typically hit, and I'm just swinging out of my shoes. Weird swing on this one. I actually feel like this ball might have been a little bit of a mud ball, because I couldn't really see what was on the bottom of it. I kind of looked at it for a minute or two and couldn't really tell. I hit it in the bunker left, but it just flew strange. It looked like it was flying like right at the pin, and then halfway up, it just kind of drew like 20 yards, and it did not feel like a draw in the slightest. So it was just a little confusing. Not my best effort there on that pitch shot. We put it about 10 feet past the pin. Got this putt for our first birdie of the day. Funny enough, looking back on this round, birdieing the first hole like I did, but having the penalty. So technically, we have no birdies on the scorecard up until this point. So at this point in the round, I'm like, just please make a birdie. I mean, we're 6 over par. We are struggling mightily. I'm just like, Ben, come on. There's too many birdie holes out here to not make a birdie. Wow, I forgot about this. Honestly, out of all the mental mistakes I've already made, this one might be the worst. I forgot about this completely. You guys see that green over there with the people to the right?
I thought that was the green.
And I've played this course before.
Well, I'm confused. Why would you hit when they're on the green though?
Because they were 335. I didn't think I'd get there. I might have just murdered someone.
Dude, I think your ball's like on. I think it's like on.
Okay, he's up there on the putting green. All the way up on the putting green. And there goes the ranger. Help him figure it out.
This might be the dumbest thing I've ever done in a tournament round, and I already got penalized on the first hole, so that just tells you how bad this one really was. I've played this golf course like 8 to 10 times in tournaments. I saw a green with a couple guys standing there putting on it, and I just assumed that was our green, really, without like even thinking. I didn't play a practice round the day before, so it has been a year and a half, 2 years since I've played this course. It's like a 370 yard, very short par 4, a little bit downhill. You can get really close to the green if you hit a good drive, but nobody really hits driver on it. I've never hit driver on it before, but today I decided to because, you know, I'm a million over. What do I got to lose? Like a minute after I hit that drive and I look to the left and I see the group in front of us leaving the green, but not the green I was aiming at, a green about 70, 80 yards left of that and 50 yards further. And I looked at Thomas and I said, dude, I just aimed at the practice green. So I had a penalty shot this round from not listening to the rules. And then I aimed at the incorrect green, costing me 2 more shots because I had to go back to the tee and re-hit. So that's 3 shots, literally just off of brain malfunctions. Just straight up like, not even thinking. I was never a great student, but I didn't think it was this bad. So here I am. I took the cart ride of shame back to the tee box. The dreaded cart ride for all you tournament golfers out there. You know how I feel. It is not a fun feeling. I actually nuked that ball at the correct green this time. And Raleigh's, she's not pointed anywhere near that ball was. It was actually right over her head, just to the left in that. I actually drove it right into the greenside bunker, which was like a 340-yard drive. I got to take relief, but I dropped it in just like an absolute divot. So I had to almost intentionally chunk that and not hit in the bunker. It was actually about as good as I could have done from there. And you can see I'm running here because the group that I'm playing with is waiting because of me. And I'm feeling pretty awful at this point. I'm like, Thomas, do you want to just leave? No, never mind. I'm not really going to withdraw. That's not something I do. And I post all tournament rounds. So, you know, here you guys go. And just watch this. This is my bogey putt because I had to drive for 3 and I knock it in. So I birdied my second ball. If I would have just aimed at the green the first time, it would have been a birdie, but I didn't. So it's a bogey. And on the first hole of the day, if I listened to the rules, I would have made a birdie, but instead I made a par because of the penalty. So both of my birdies at this point were not birdies because of just absolute malfunctions. There's no other way to explain it. It's pretty funny when you think about it. I hit a great shot. That iron swing on this hole, I don't know if you want to go back and rewatch it, but I really loved that iron swing. It just looked very soft, very controlled. I hit a knockdown little punch 8 iron, almost made a birdie there as well. We're still hitting the ball fine. I still can't believe you can see the green in the background here actually on this shot. That's the green I aimed at. And the other green was, you can kind of put it together. Nuke this drive. I mean, I am just hitting the driver amazing. Even with having to re-tee, I don't blame the driver for that, even though I did miss it about 5 yards right. If I would have missed it 5 yards right of the actual green, it would have been fine. So I don't blame the driver, even though it's going to show up on the stat sheet as shots lost with driver. The driver's great at this point. And then we stuffed that wedge shot. So just 2 great shots here. This might be the best 7-over round I've ever played in my life, funny enough. I actually put a really good stroke on this one. Just didn't I think I missed it on the high side. Just didn't break. It was getting really tough to read these greens at this point. With all the traffic they had, with all the water, with all the rain, they were kind of stomped on. And just, it was tough to make some putts. I'm not going to lie. It was tricky. Really tough hole here. I also just want to talk about, this is one of my favorite courses I get to play, in events. Like, I get to play it a good amount. I've played, like I said, 8 to 10 times so far. And I just can't seem to figure it out. It seems like something always happens whenever I play it that makes it go south, or I don't know. Some days it's my driving, some days it's my putting, some days it's just whatever, like everything, like this round was. This round's kind of everything. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I just haven't had the greatest luck on this course. I haven't been able to figure it out. And at this point, I'm switching to left-hand low, as you could tell, so I'm trying everything. Because obviously the putter, you know, wasn't my biggest friend here anyways. Almost knocked that one in, though. I'm actually still using left-hand low to this day. I changed it in this round and didn't go back. I've been practicing my putting a lot. Who would have thought that practicing putting actually helps? I have figured it out since this point. You guys do not need to worry about me. It is feeling much better. And I am just about to launch this ball. You can see how far I stood away from it. I just set up to just absolutely just step on it. This hole is a pretty wide fairway, and at this point I'm just like praying to make a birdie, because I still technically do not have a birdie in this round. Thomas and I are holding hands because it was a very slippery, treacherous walk down this hill, and I didn't want him to slip with my bags, and I didn't want to slip and follow my butt either. So, you know, you can make fun of us all you want in the comments. We're just real friends, and that's all there is to it. I hit this one just short of the pin in the bunker, so I got to take relief, but it was right at the pin the whole time. I thought it was going to be really good. I thought we were going to have an eagle putt, but we did not, and I dropped it in kind of an indentation in the ground. Oh, Oscar's yelling. Probably wants peanut butter. So I got to take more relief from the bunker. Now we got this chip for birdie. So our chances of not making a birdie, and there it is. We didn't make a birdie this round, guys. This putt's now for par. Just really as bad as we possibly could have scored this round. I don't think we could have scored worse if we tried, but at least we knocked that one in for a par to leave with our heads held high, I guess. I don't know. Not really. This was tough. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was hectic, that's for sure. One of my weirdest tournament rounds of my life. Possibly my weirdest, honestly. Yeah, probably my weirdest. I did not feel like I played as bad as the score. Obviously, I had a really cold putter that day. I've been putting great ever since, so I'm not really too worried about it. I've switched to left-hand low full time, and I've been putting amazing, some of the best putting of my life. I'm using the DF3. The scores were high as is, so it made me feel a little bit better about myself. The conditions were obviously really hard. The next event I'm playing in is the Mickelson Invitational in Calgary, Canada. It's a 3-day event. There's gonna be 9 other creators playing actually, and I think 100 players total. It's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna film that as well. That will be the next Pause to Pro. I got a new swing coach as well. I might be showing some footage of that. Let me know in the comments if you would be interested in seeing that. We've still had a decent start to the year as far as tournaments are concerned. You know, obviously my worst round so far this year and ever in my Pause to Pro series, but that's okay. You know, just wasn't our day. If you made it this far in the video, thank you guys for sticking around. I know it wasn't my best stuff, but I'm glad you guys still enjoy watching the journey. We will be back. Do not worry about that. We'll see you in Pause to Pro episode 7.